Welcome back to another episode of Barbecue and Bottles, and today we are going to make traditional smash burgers, the simplest and best burgers that you've ever had. And so to start with, you're going to need some 80-20 ground beef, because in Canada you can't actually get 80-20 at the grocery store. We actually have a friend whose father actually herds steer, and so this is some ground beef from that steer. So what we're going to do is measure out patties that are about 2.25 ounces, so that's about 70 grams. So we've got our scale here, and we're just going to count off about 70 grams worth of beef. There we go. And now we'll make that into a little ball. Don't need to pack it very tightly. Now these are going to grill up really quickly, so it's important that you get all your prep work done at the outset. There, another 70 grams. Now we're not forming these into patties because we're going to be smashing these on the griddle. So we don't need to actually form these into anything that looks like the traditional burger patty that you're used to at this stage. So it's important to get 80-20 beef here because it refers to the amount of fat content in the actual burgers themselves. And 80-20 ground beef has a ton of marbling in it, and that's all going to render down as you're searing these off on the griddle, and that's just going to make for an incredibly juicy burger. Now we've got all the burgers formed up here, let's move on to the toppings. So we've just shaved up some white onion and we've sliced up some dill pickle. Next we're going to make a little sauce, and this is really easy. We're just going to go in with 1/3 mayo. Then we'll go in with 1/3 regular yellow mustard. Then we'll finish it off with 1/3 relish. Great, and then we'll just mix this up. And we're done. You can add in a little bit of ketchup to this if you'd like, but we're just trying to avoid sugar. If you want to add ketchup, then just do 1/4 mustard, mayo, relish, and ketchup. Now we're just going to turn the griddle on, and we're going to want to put it on high. And we'll give this a couple minutes to warm up because we want this to be ripping hot before we actually sear off our smash burgers. So while this is warming up, we're actually going to toast off the buns. So we're just going to get a bunch of butter on here. And then we'll put our buns right down on top of the butter, just like that. And this butter on the buns is just going to make sure that they turn out nice and golden brown. Alright, now we've got our buns nice and toasted up like this. Just going to transfer them over here. Now because the smash burgers are going to cook so quickly, you want to get your buns prepared and ready for the burgers to arrive. So we're just going to put down some of our sauce like this. And then we'll lay down some onion. All right, and now pickle. All right, perfect. We've got 4 beds just ready for the burger patties. Now we're just going to check the temp of the actual griddle here. We've got this at about 400 degrees Fahrenheit in the middle, 450 around the edges. So this is hot enough for us to actually get the patties on at this point. So we're just going to put the patties down. Alright, so what we're going to do is we'll use some wax paper or some parchment paper, and we'll just lay that over top and smash these burgers down. And you want to go about as thin as you can possibly get them. And then we just hold this smash down for about 10 seconds just to make sure it really sticks into the griddle. Perfect. Now it's only going to take about 45 seconds to a minute for these to cook. And that's why you've got to prepare the buns and your toppings in advance. Now we're just going to season this with a little freshly cracked black pepper. And some salt. Now while those are searing away, you want to prep your cheese, and for this you need American cheese. Now I know a lot of you are going to say American cheese isn't real, but we need a cheese that's going to melt really quickly, and that's what American cheese does exceptionally well. We've done this with regular cheddar before and other types of cheeses, and because the burgers are so quick to cook, the cheese doesn't actually have time to melt. So that's why we'd really recommend just getting some Kraft singles and just rolling with it. So the way you can tell these are finished is you just look around the edges, and when you can see this dark brown craggly crust actually starting to form all the way around the burger, that's when you know it's ready to flip. So we're gonna use a spatula here and really get down in there and make sure we're getting all of that crust as we flip over the burger. This is when we're gonna add on our American cheese. And it's important as you're flipping these burgers, really make sure you're using a sharp scraper or spatula like this, because you don't want to leave any of that crust behind. That's where all the flavor is going to be, on the dark crust, just like that. Beautiful. Now if you want, you can put the lid on, and that's just going to help the cheese to melt even quicker, and it'll just make sure you're locking in all that steam from the renderings coming off the burgers. So the cheese should be melted by now. Let's lift this off and start building our burgers. So we like loading up 3 patties onto an individual burger. Look at that craggly crust. That is perfect. Top that off, and there you go. The traditional smash burger. Just look at these edges. There's tons of flavor. The Maillard reactions really work to caramelize the beef here. And we've just used a regular bun. If you want, you can use a brioche bun or a potato bun, but this is our burger. Check that out. Now, there's only one thing left to do, which is to check out the taste test. Oh, the cheese, the juiciness of the beef, the crispiness of those edges, a little bit of dill pickle and onion, and that sauce. This is a wonderful burger. Super easy to do here at home. All you need is a cast iron skillet or a griddle outside, and you're good to go. So if you like this video, consider giving us a like below, leaving a comment, and consider subscribing to check out more videos like these in the future. Thanks for tuning in.